Welcome to Leadership Sovereignty. I'm your host, Terry Baylor, along with Ralph Owens. Today we'll answer questions why hearing myself confess my destiny is important. Is there anything wasted in my journey? Why serving my gift to the world is important, and why knowing who I am and why I was created. Enjoy the show. See, again, guys, look, I'm going to share some of more of my secrets, right? So, man, I record my daily confessions. So not only do I hear myself saying them on the recording, but I hear myself repeating them after I've said it on the recording. I want double.
Yes.
Right. And so there is something extremely powerful, right, about what you hear. And we've all heard this, right? That's why we know all the nursery rhymes from when we were 6 and 7, because we heard it over and over again. And you know what? That thing, and Ralph, we're probably going to dig into this a little bit on this, but when it got past our ear, it got past our intellect, it got way down with that guy who controls it all.
That's it. Yep.
The subconscious, right? When you tap into that guy, right? That is where what you hear and what you practice daily happens automatically. Right?
Yeah.
We are literally programming our responses. So again, in the fact that you find encouraging books, find or write yourself a confession or affirmation that reinforces, to Ralph's point, you may not be there right now, but when you keep saying that, right? I was listening to a podcast yesterday for some encouragement, and the person said, if you want to see where you're going to be in 5 years, take note to what you are saying.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Right now. You want to see where you are in 5 years? Take note to what your audible game is right now. What are you saying to others? What are you saying to yourself? So again, right, what I want this show to be is, look, man, I need a B3 up in here. This we gonna have a revival up. Look, we are not going to live the way we have been.
That's right.
Even I'm talking to myself, because there are some places where I want to improve in. I'm not where I was last year. Thank God. But you know what? I don't want to be at this point a year from now.
Right.
Because I understand what my gift is. I understand who my target audience is. And I am preparing and exercising, serving my gifts to the world.
That's
So,
right.
and Ralph, so I know we want to move on to the next, and because here's the deal, right? We can move on to that person who is the persecutor, right?
Yeah.
And let's really talk about that. Why would someone really be a persecutor? Why?
Yeah.
What's the why?
Well, number one is insecurity. They're insecure in the fact that they really don't have power, so they want to punish you first before you really find out that they really don't have the power. That's the number one driver of being the persecutor, right? A persecutor must have a victim. Victims and persecutors are synonymous with one another, right? Yeah, you can't have one without the other. They look to punish. They look to take the power from the victim, right? And typically because the underlying root is they're insecure themselves. So you ever heard of, the way to stop a bully is to stand up to him? Well, the bully's power comes from them scaring you so that you don't figure out the failure inside of them first, right? And that's the persecutor, right? They look for a victim. They look to take that person's power. They look to punish that person. And typically it's because of their own insecurities. I mean, but what comes to mind for you, Terry?
Man, it comes to mind. I was in the 3rd grade. I was in no, you know what? I think I told yeah, I was in the 3rd grade, and this guy, man, he would just every day after school,
Mm.
we called him Sharky. Cause his grill was messed up, man. They called it that. That wasn't right. That was not right. They called him Sharky. And I remember, it's what's funny is you remember your moments when you are liberated. I'm hoping that this show today becomes a moment for somebody where they you know what? That was the moment I came liberated, right? I became free.
Mhm.
I remember, man, it was after school. It was like, I think it was maybe close to one of the last days of school. And I said, I'm tired of this dude picking on me.
Hmm.
So I grew, I'm a baseball player. That was my favorite sport, man. I remember I saw one of them mama combs. The mama combs with the big, thick handle on it. And I
Mhm.
think they call them rakes.
Mhm.
And it was on the ground.
Mhm.
I was like, I'm tired of this. He get close enough, I'm tagging him. I picked that thing up, man. He got close enough, come to say something. I wheeled that thing, man. It hit him in his face. Bam! He's screaming. Ah! Hey, I didn't have any more problems out of him. I did. And at that, but here's what's funny. I realized in that moment, right? What about 3rd grade? You what, 8, 9 years old, I think 10.
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
realized I could have stopped this long ago.
Mhm.
I didn't have to go through this semester like this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, granted,
Yeah.
I'm not advocating, right? I'm
Right.
what
Put it
I
in
what
there.
I what I'm advocating is taking a stance,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
we're more mature now,
Mhm.
right? We have a plethora of skills and tools
Mhm.
that we've been handed down, but the principle of standing
Mhm.
is a very important one. Ralph, I really want to really hit on something though, right?
Mhm.
Because you said this in the previous shows. We could serve in more than one of these roles.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
Mhm.
really I want to deal with, man, we probably have been a persecutor at some form, some way, somehow,
Mhm.
because of the point that you brought out, insecurity.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, look, go
Yeah.
ahead. No, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Okay. We definitely, it's not even probably, it's a definite, and it may have happened in the same conversation. We move roles in the same conversation. You the persecutor, now I'm the persecutor, right?
Wow.
But it's that, again, to your point, being aware, self-aware of how you're coming across to somebody else, right? Because again, you can't have a victim without a persecutor. And if a person is perceiving you as a persecutor, you really need to ask yourself, what's the reason behind that, right? Are you really trying to punish this person? Are you really trying to take the power from this person so that they remain powerless to make yourself feel good? That's all based on the insecurity. Because if you need to take someone else's power to make yourself feel good, then that means that you're deficient and you're insecure about what you have and what you don't have, right? But to your point, Terry, we can all be the victim and the persecutor all in the same conversation. If you're having an argument with someone, at some point in that argument, you feel like you're the victim. And then at some point, they're going to feel like they're the victim, which is probably what's driving the argument, right? But you have to be very careful to, and I think this is a foundational principle in personal development. Terry and I always refer to the Jedi. We're talking about EQ. EQ Jedi is a title that we kind of came up with. But one of the foundational principles behind EQ, emotional intelligence, is the ability to be aware of yourself and how you're coming across to other people and being able to change that. So that persecutor is a learned behavior sometimes, right? I mean, we can see throughout history where it's a learned behavior because a particular party wants to keep another party a victim so that they can leverage them, right? But any thoughts on that, Terry?
Yeah. Again, man, my goal here is we not walking away from this show the same way we were, right? One aspect is we go give you some information, but we also want to empower you, man, so you can know who you are. And the best way that I know, man, the song that came to my mind. The best way I know, you can make it.
Church
The
all
best,
in this.
all in us, man. We can't. Sorry, guys.
You can't
Look,
get away
look.
from it.
It's mixed in there, man.
Yeah.
Is you got to understand how you were framed, right? And why. And so again, I want to empower you. I'm going to read something to you. Psalm 139, 14 and 16. Right. Look. The goal is today is we're gonna say some things, and your intellect is going to receive it. We wanted to get past that so it can get down into your soulless area so you can feel better. But most importantly, we want your subconscious to take hold of this and chew on it over and over until it starts coming out. Basically what this says is, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. So, man, look, there are some ideas that the Creator has for you. You got to know that. You can't walk around here with the ideas, and we say this all the time. Look, if you don't have an idea for you, someone go give you one. You don't have an identity, someone has one for you. You don't have a plan, somebody's got a plan for your life. But here's the thing, man. God's got a plan for your life.
That's right.
So I don't want you to walk away from here feeling that you have to accomplish all of this by yourself. Look, this is one of the things. Look, Ralph and I knew this day was going to be here.
Yep.
Ralph and I have been talking about this for about 10 years.
Yep, absolutely.
We decided, man, let's just set up. We go do one.
Yeah. Yep.
Now we are some 30 shows down the road. But we have been saying this over and over. We have been speaking it out because we understood this is one of the things that God created us for.
Yes.
So because we know that, we know that like we're not shy about doing this. We're not uncomfortable with doing this. Not only that, we've been giving a plethora of life experiences, right?
That's right.
Those that were challenges and those that were where we experienced success. Because of the plan, God ordained all the right people, right, to bring about this success. Right. Here's the deal, secret. Some of those right people are going to be the people that challenge you and help you grow.
That's right.
Right?
That's
Some
right.
of those situations that are formed, right? Ralph, you and I talked about this. Do you think Joseph, when he was on, the second man in charge in Egypt, he was saying, man, I can't believe I got thrown in that pit?
Nah.
He wasn't thinking about that
Nah,
pit.
he wasn't thinking about that
You know
pit
what? Well, if he was like, man, you know what? I learned that no matter what, God's plans are true.
That's it. Yeah.
When he thinks about that.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking at himself as a victim in that situation.
No.
Right?
No.
When he was in the prison, right? When he goes back and thinks on that, I don't think he was thinking, man, I can't believe I'm giving guys interpretations and I'm sitting up in here.
No. He thanking God for using every situation.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys, there's nothing wasted. It's nothing wasted. We have to understand what our purpose is. And I want to encourage you, understand it's not there to defeat you.
That's right. That's right. That's
it's
right.
there to help you grow. Right? Thank you for being with us today on Leadership Sovereignty. Stay connected with us on X, formerly known as Twitter, and on Instagram by searching for Leadership Sovereignty. And just like this podcast, Let's all collectively grow as we go. God bless.